Hi, friends. Good evening. I'm fine. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. So, 1 minute. Yes, good evening, friends. Yes, before we begin the today's class, any general issues, concerns, doubts from the previous sessions? Okay, so today's webinar got cancelled. So, we can talk extra time today too. Okay. That's good. We'll take some extra time. So, we'll try to match up with the morning batch. They're a bit ahead of us here in the us here include the evening batch. So yes, good evening. Yes, we'll start again soon, just in 2-3 minutes actually. um Before that, any did you go through the videos that we have suggested, and two videos that we suggested as a part of our discussion, if you remember? And one is PACS. PACS, that is social audit. And the next one, NGO Kranti. If you would have typed NGO Kranti and the YouTube channel is the Quint, you would have got this video. Okay, so what's your opinion after watching that video of this, NGO Kranti? What did you feel? What did you felt? Just a second. Yes, friends, I'm here now. Whoever watched that video, and what did you learn from that video? Any opinion, analysis? Did you make any notes of that? Well, it's a good initiative taken up by them for the girls, for the sex worker. It is helping them believe that they too have a present and the future perspective of their past. Okay, so they do have a present and the future irrespective of their past. Okay, that's good. Mm, what is Vivek? Please complete the sentence. Sir, PPT was not able. What is the remaining thing? Past is good for governance, but Kranti is so heartbreaking. Why it is heartbreaking? Others are able to download the PPTs, or you are also facing the issues? Syed says he is not facing any issue. Everything is fine. So you have to check with the others. Sir, Kranti video, I just know the name of the NGO is empowering the daughters of sex workers and it give a good future for them. Okay, that you understood. That's good. Okay, so sorry, actually, name only Syed says actually, maybe the next name actually is not visible to us. So we have, no. So because only from the surname or half name, sometimes the gender can be confusing. I'm very sorry for that. Because when we see your name, only half of it visible actually. Okay, so sorry for that. So Syed, and what is your complete name? I'll just check that. After, okay, that's fine. Class from the starting to right now. Okay, so I'll talk to the team. Okay, friends. So, hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to you all for the class of ethics, integrity, and aptitude. We have started understanding about the ethics in governance, and as a part of our discussion in the yesterday's class, we tried to understand some basic concepts related to governance, like what is governance, what is government, what is the philosophy behind this government, what is public service, who is public servant and the civil servant, efficiency, effectiveness, growth, inclusive growth, sustainable development, social audit, ethics audit, corruption, collusive corruption, coercive corruption, challenges of corruption, consequences of corruption. These are the topics like we have understood in the form of basics. We also have seen whether the non-performance of a duty by a public servant can be called as a corruption or not. Today we'll try to go ahead and try to understand the other concepts. So now today, as these PPTs we will be sharing with you for temporary basis. Of course, if you want, you can take the screenshot of it and see. There are some topics where you need to understand. There are some topics when you need to, like for example, civil service. If you really understand well, let them ask any question, you can write it. There are some question you will understand, but you need to think a lot actually and apply based on the question. Like for example, in ethics we discuss so many concepts of what is right and wrong, you should know, but for every situation you should apply whether I should go for talisman here, Max Weber here, or how to balance of all this. Well, the first chapter ethics is about understanding, and you should be able to think well so that you will apply in the different context. And in second chapter is mainly about again understanding. Once you have clarity about it, you can write it. This governance is also about one is understanding and making a very good notes actually. So we should have sufficient content on the every topic, and based on the question you should be able to adapt it. Here making the notes is very important. Normally in the first two chapters, even though you make some simple notes actually, there are so many examples you have to remember. More and more adaptability will be there. Most of the questions in the chapter 3 are direct questions, comparatively easier chapter, provided you also complete the GS paper too. And most of the topics that we studied today will also be repeated in the governance, but they will discuss from their perspective. Let us we understand in a simple terms what are these topics, so that will help us to answer the question related to governance, keeping the yesterday's basics in the mind. Okay. Now, before we start today's class, I want you to think about these terms. Now, we'll be go. I'm going to give you some words actually. Just recollect this actually and see. Can you recall anything about this? So, the first word, transparency itself. Just check with your mind without any material or anything in front of you. Where did you hear this word actually? Have you heard about this word, transparency? What this might be transparency? Just follow my instruction. Even by closing your eyes you can try this, or if you're typing, that's fine. You are just recollecting, it's fine. You are writing on paper, some rough paper, it's fine, but follow this instruction. Transparency. What is transparency? Then there is a word called information sharing. Information sharing is actually, the word transparency and information sharing are the same. Can I differentiate between them? Just go on thinking about this. Is information sharing and the transparency are they same? Okay. Accountability. If you are unable to type and send, it's fine. But I just want you to think on these words first. Accountability. What is this word accountability? When was the first time I heard this word accountability? I have by heart some definition. Can I recall any definition for accountability? Okay, some definitions are coming to my mind. But do I really know what is accountability? Am I accountable to anybody now before becoming civil servant? Am I accountable? Is this accountability accountant actually and any relation with accountant and accountability? Okay. Now, responsibility. Is the word responsibility and accountability are they same? Array, it looks like something responsibility, accountability. What is this? Which one comes first? Do responsibility comes first or accountability first comes? Is which is more important? Responsibility is important or accountability is important? Okay. Confidentiality. What is this confidentiality? Okay. If confidentiality is important, is it important or transparency is important? Related to this, there is something called RTI 2005, Right to Information Act of 2005. Have I heard anything about this Right to Information of 2005? Have I ever used in my life? Can I use that as a citizen? Okay, it is talking about some information. Why do we need information? Already we have so much of information around us that we cannot able to read that Hindu, the Indian Express, and so many things only. And internet is flooded with information. When we type any word, we'll get so much of information. Already materials are so many materials are there. Still, we need a right to information also. Why do we need it? There is something called Whistleblower Protection Act of 2014. Whistleblower. Who are these whistleblower? Have I heard this word of whistleblower anywhere else? Are those who put whistles, they also need protection. Somebody may take away their whistles. Oh, Whistleblower Protection Act of 2014. So we need to protect those people who are whistling. Okay. There is something called OSA 1923. Official Secret Act of 1923. What is this Official Secret Act of 1923? Official secret. Okay, there is some secret also. Secret normally we should not speak. Okay, but there is an act about secret also. Okay. Normally when I share secret with my friend, he or she will not keep it with them only. Oh, maybe to protect or punish those people. This Official Secret Act may be there. Okay, now try to recall this. Let us we understand. If you have any doubts about all this, we will try to understand all of these concepts now. Actually, slowly and gradually. In order to get a clarity and all this, all you have to do is actually just be with my journey. That's all. If you are just a 10th class student, that is also enough. Actually, just but all the thing you have to do is actually next 3 hours plus actually that we stay together. You have to be with me in our journey. Okay, so before I go further, responsibility, accountability, transparency, which is more important, depends on context. Okay, okay, okay. Good. Some of the comments are good. Now, hope you are able to recall this. If you don't know what are they, don't worry. Actually, let us start with the first word and try to understand what it is. So you no need to write down this. I just want you to go through this slide. Okay, please read this slide. I will explain to you. Go through this slide. Yes, Vivek ji, you are right. Until I say right, Vivek will be keep posting that message. He decided actually, sir should look at my message. And just for fun, Vivek ji, don't feel bad, though it is true. Once you just go, like, when we give this slide, once you go through this and try to make some sense, we'll give some time and then we will start discussing. Okay, friends, now listen to me. Okay, please listen to me. So, what is transparency? The word transparency means absence of secrecy. Like, there is no secrecy, first thing, nor as a concept of transparency means we should not maintain secrecy. For example, if I'm government and you are common people, and if there is even a transparent layer here, whatever I do, there is some barrier, there is some difference between common people and the system, everything is there actually. But whatever I do, you are able to see. Like, no secrets are maintained as a concept. Now, transparency is a concept which says that there should not be secrecy. But how to achieve that transparency? One, you can see. The other thing is actually I need to share the information. So it is about information sharing. About what information? As a government, we are taking so many decisions actually, like new education policy, housing scheme, demonetization. So many, like, new parliament building construction, airport construction, port construction, highways construction. What are all the different activities we are doing? Why are we doing that? And how much money we are spending? We will share information as much as possible. As much as possible. Once we give information, you should not have any doubt. Ideal transparency means actually, if as a government we give the information, that should be reliable. If any argument comes, hey, this government data, it is there in economic survey. Sometime then, some data may be presented in some newspaper magazine, may be wrong. But if somebody say it is quoted by some Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Economic Affairs, that is should be correct. So common people should believe that if any official data comes from the government, it is reliable. There is no doubt. Theoretically speaking, it should be easily understandable also. As a concept, if we give any information, it should be easily understandable. But sometimes even civil service aspirants cannot understand. They require some notes and explanation. Ideally, they should give in such a way that a common person, a common graduate, a normal, at least one who know English, actually, if that information is there in English, he or she should be able to understand. They should share the information not only about the decisions they are taking, like demonetization, we are coming with that, we are constructing new parliament building, we are coming with new education policy, and we are coming with initiation to improve the rooftops, of installation of rooftops at least on 1 crore homes or something. We are not only talking about the decisions but also the grounds, the logic behind that decision also we are sharing. When we give information to the people, they get enlightenment, they will understand what is happening or not actually. And debates will happen. Arey, government is spending for the new parliament building so many crores, like for example 900 crore. Then other people, is it necessary? What is the necessary now? And what are the other problems that we are facing? Compared to all of that, is it really necessary? Oh, the government is spending so many crores for this Mangalyaan, it seems, Chandrayaan, it seems. Is it necessary actually? So there will debate actually, and debate will give us to solution. So people with different perspectives will come, people will get more and more clarity. So transparency lead to trust. Transparency lead to trust. This transparency is not just important in the government, it is important in families. Suppose husband wife are there. Suppose as a husband, or my wife is going to job and I am staying at home. Let us go against the normal patriarchy. So I am staying at home, my wife actually every month she gives me, hypothetically, so that is 50,000 rupees. I should answer to her actually how I am spending that money. The more and more transparency, it lead to the trust actually, so that she has a feeling that I'm not misusing the money that I'm having. So it is important in the companies. Of course, SEBI wants actually companies to be maintain transparency. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Once in a 3 months, actually, many of these companies release their data. Once in a year, they will release their data. Once in a quarter, they will release. So in administration also, it is important. Everywhere, this transparency is important. How do the government achieves it? Like for example, budget is one of the method of transparency, where we will tell in the next 1 year what are the different areas where we are going to collect the resources or the money, and how we are going to spend. Government have many website, and through their website they share the information. There is a website related to environment ministry, ministry of home affairs, cultural ministry, everything. There are websites, they will share. There's also a PIB, press information bureau, and they will share the information. This is first slide of transparency. Before I go ahead, make sure is it clear. So Vikram, so it is not contradicting with the trustworthiness. So transparency lead to trust. Are we clear, Vikram? Okay. Suppose if we go, and if any of you, left with some doubts and all, don't worry. Whatever the doubts you have, you post it actually. Even if it is back one slide, we'll come back and answer. When few thumbs come, we'll go ahead, because they're very simple to understand. I'm explaining each and every word here in a simple way so that you will get clarity. Thank you. Please observe this. So those who are joining now, what we are doing is we are discussing that concept of transparency and information sharing. First, go through this slide and try to make some sense, and then I will explain to you. Okay, Mustafa, focus now. Just a glance, that's all. No PhD. I will answer, Vikram. Okay, friends. Now listen to me. So now we are giving example for information sharing. Now we just told that one how to achieve the transparency, we need to share information. One example we are giving. For example, in the field of education, government thinks that we need to do some changes. But if you want to make some changes, first government should know what is the present status of it. At present, what is the literacy rate of the common people? What is the reading abilities, writing abilities, mathematical ability, analytical skills? We need to analyze. And after knowing, like for example, we have one NGO called Pratham. They publishes annual status of education report. That also we'll consider. We can have our own team and we'll get some present data by taking some samples. Now we need to see if we, before making a policy, we can also take the feedback from the people. We can ask actually. There is a if you see MyGov, if there is a website called as MyGov, then where so many interaction about the governance will be keep on happening. Where suppose we can ask the questions to the people, what are the changes that you would like to bring in the present education system? So there are some teachers who will respond, parents, schools, colleges, educational boards, officials, students. Actually, we should give opportunity for everybody to give the feedback. Now one is we have only done our research, and we have also get the feedback from the other people, so we will understand what are the issues that we are facing today. Okay, these are the issues. Okay, some are those who are studying in the 10th class, but they're unable to read the textbook of 5th class. There are some people who are studying in 9th class, but they are not able to do the addition of two digits. There is some serious issue. So what may be the root cause? Is it that teaching methodology is a problem? Or lack of nutrition is the problem? Or we are not able to teach in a way that they can observe? And keeping all this in the mind, they should propose a policy. Now, once proposed policy is over, no, they have to implement it. So, but implementation. And once we start implementing is over, actually, no. We need to monitor whether everything is happening as we planned. There is something that we plan, and once we implement, we need to monitor that it is happening correctly. And some here and there, something that we are thinking in the, like suppose AC room, and everything may not be implemented in the same way. So there should be some small corrections are required. So that means there is something happening pre-policy making, during policy, and after policy. All of this information government should share with the stakeholders actually. The more and more we share the information, that actually lead to the mutual trust. Mutual trust. This is one example in the field of education, but this concept of information sharing can be tried actually in health and nutrition, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion, skill development, basic infrastructure. That means, in other words, in every field government should ideally share this information. That is transparency. Okay, that you are sharing the information, but how that information sharing should be? It should be regular, like budget once in a year. Some data can be given actually once in 6 months, some once in month, and some data can be given every day. When the government or any authority is sharing the information, and if we say we are transparent, we need to see who are going to use our data. So we need to analyze them, whether the farmers are going to use our data, lawyers are going to use our data, scientists are going to use, or who are they going to use? Based on that, we should design a message and the format and the language or the medium. Whether we English Hindi is sufficient or the local language is necessary. If you put online, that is sufficient, or we need to make sure that some offline copies should be available in Sachivalayam or the local institutions actually, Panchayat Raj institution. Should we give a very detailed information, or should we give a crisp information? All that we need to see before we give who are going to use, and make sure that all the stakeholder concerned people should be able to understand. We can give a detailed information, those who want to see. Somebody want a crisp notes, it should be available. Somebody is a very they're very new to this, just to get a broader idea, for them broader idea will be there. Ideally, this is how it should happen, and it should be comprehensive. You have to share every information related to the planning, implementation, and monitoring, correction, and everything. Ideally, this is called as a transparency, and that can be achieved through this information sharing. Now Vikram says, sir, leaking some secret information in the name of transparency will lead to the erosion of trustworthiness. Yes, that is a concept. Then we discuss confidentiality. Now, when we discuss, it is about the very purpose is of government. As we discuss social contract theory, this government is created as a part of an agreement. So I have to make sure that you have given me power, you are giving me resources. I am using each and every rupee well, and for that, actually, transparency is important. If transparency is important, actually, so that will also build the trust among the people, and how it should be, we have discussed. Stakeholder point once more. When I say stakeholder, now with respect to the information sharing, I need to see who are going to use. So as I told you, stakeholder means the people who are going to get benefit of this, who are in need of that. Keeping them in the mind, we need to create a message. So as I told you, for some scientists, they need this information. We can have a very complicated language and a detailed explanation. But if some common farmer wants to know, it should be in a simple language. What is the format, whether online format or digital format? What is the language that you are using, whether only in the English or the regional language actually? Once again, the medium, which actually again we say that online or offline, the format may be the technical language or a simple language. So all this has to be decided based on the people who are going to use in the mind. Aman says, are you there? Yes, I am there. What is the help you need, Aman? Tell me. Education is another name of information sharing. Education is one of the means of information sharing, but education should not be restricted to only information sharing. Yes, Aman, any? Aman says, hi, I need your help. Oh, are you there? I thought some emergency. Okay, let us see what is it. Till he gives, let's we go ahead. Have a look at this and see and try to make some sense. Okay. Now listen to me. In our coaching institutions, actually, teachers are there. According to you, teachers are accountable to whom? Compared to the previous day, some of you are joining very late at 5:30. May I know any specific reason that you are joining late? We see normally the Kumkum and others actually they join earlier actually. Any specific reason? Okay, when you think about what are the topics you covered in yesterday's class? I was not able to attend. That is why, sir, I need your help. Actually, I thought something. Okay, that also. Whatever, like we share PPTs now, whatever before that we have covered. We started with actually understanding the basis of governance and we discussed. So, some general question we'll discuss towards the end. Let us keep specific to the topic so that actually others do not deviate. Okay. So, in generally, teachers are accountable to the management and management are accountable to the students. Why is that actually? So first, as the students, you have given your time and money to our institution. That's a management actually. You trust in that and you have given your time and money. And they have chosen us actually, okay, who are the best teachers and everything. And that is why as the teachers, we should be accountable to the management and management should be accountable to the students. I will explain this, don't worry. In the same way, in a parliamentary democracy, we have executives are there. Executives are accountable to executives are accountable to legislature. Executives itself, they are ministers, Vivekji, and they are accountable to the legislatures. Legislatures are accountable to people. Now listen to me. First thing, responsibility and accountability. What is the meaning of responsibility? Responsibility means what? It is the duty that we are supposed to do. It is the obligation that we are supposed to fulfill. It is the principles we need to follow. So first, what is responsibility? Responsibility means the duty that we are supposed to do, obligations that we are supposed to fulfill, and the principles that we need to follow. This is called as responsibility. For example, now here I am a teacher teaching ethics, integrity, and aptitude for you. So they have given me 50 plus hours time. Our institution has given. So within this 50 hours of time are the 15 sessions close to that actually in the 15 modules, 15 sessions and close to 50 hours. I have a duty to complete the syllabus. I have an obligation to make sure that we are making the students understand the syllabus, creating curiosity about the subject, giving some insights about the previous year questions also. This is the obligation that I need to fulfill. I need to follow some principle. I need to treat every student equally. So it is like I'm giving only answers to a few people and few people I'm not giving. No, that's not correct. I need to respect you, and of course, to get the return, expect respect from you. So this is some principle. So this is called responsibility. First, I need to do responsibility. After completing this responsibility, now for example, now suppose 50 hours. Now our day after tomorrow, we may complete the syllabus. then the management may ask further question. Why have you done this? Why have you not done this? Why these portions are not able to complete? And anything, let them ask any question. I should be able to answer to them. It is about being answerable of the performance of a task actually. About the details, whatever they ask actually, if they ask, and I should be able to answer to them. I am taking responsibility for my actions and inactions. Sir, these are the reason, things that I'm able to do. These are the portions that I couldn't able to complete. These are the reason that I'm couldn't able to complete. So for my actions, for the things I have done, for the action, inactions, for the things that I couldn't able to do, I am taking responsibility. I am taking the ownership for outcomes or the success or the failure. So I will share everything. Yes, sir, it is my problem that I couldn't able to do this. Now, what is the use of accountability? The management, after looking at this person actually and answers and everything, usually will take the decision whether we should give the opportunity for this person next batch or not, whether we should give promotion or the demotion. That is why this accountability will come. In the same way, in generally, managements are accountable to the students. How normally, suppose if 1 year course actually, now I'm a management, you are the students actually, like you have given me two things as a students. One is you have given 1 year of your time, and also some money that you have given us, some X amount of money that you have given to us. I'm just taking hypothetically 1 lakh rupees actually. I don't know the fees. I'm just taking some number, 1 lakh rupees and 1 year time that you have given to me. So I should be accountable to you. Like maybe once in a 3 months, we'll come and tell, see, these are the promises that we made at the time that you joined us actually. These are the portions we are completed in the first 3 months. These are the portions that we are planning to complete. This is what the promises that we are giving. Like for example, answer evaluation and so many things actually. These things we are doing properly. There were some issues that we faced in the 3 months, and this is the reason that why you faced that issue. And we'll make sure that actually next in the 9 months we will be able to do it properly. And they will ask any problem that you are having actually, and they will take it, and they will take all the answers actually. They take the ownership for the success or the failure, and if that is able to do, and that means that management is accountable to the students. Now suppose in a parliamentary democracy, you will imagine there was some just for example, recently in Ayodhya, the Ram Lalla or the Bhalak Ram actually. Bhalak Ram's Prana Pratishtha is open. Now, one day, like January 22nd, some VIPs have all attended. Next day, common people were actually came. Now, you see, lakhs of people have come together. They will be aware, okay, once this part process is over, Prana Pratishtha, then there will be many people who are curious to see this Ayodhya and all. So, there are arrangements were made to maintain that no problems are happening, no violence, nothing is happening. But suppose hypothetically imagine some people faced a stampede issue. There was actually, they some may move fast and all, somebody stuck and faced some properties got damaged in that moment actually. Some fight happened among the few people and all. Now there are some officials who are responsible for that. They should come if there anything goes wrong in this process actually. There are people like Ministry of Home should come to the parliament and should answer to the questions of legislature. They will ask why this incident happened, why there is a loss of life for the people, the properties got damaged, or suppose some natural disaster happen, or disasters happen, earthquake, flood and all. When the all these disaster management all happens, suppose we see that after the end of all this disaster, some 100 people lost. Now these legislature may ask many questions to the concerned people. So what are the pre-disaster management you have taken, disaster management actually, why there was a loss of 100 people life actually, what you could have done. So for all the questions of legislature, executive should answer. Now why actually this happened, like, and this legislature should accountable to the common people once in a 5 years actually, at least in one is election is one of the mechanism of accountability. Like suppose I'm MP or MLA, I'll come to you. See, when the last time you voted for me, these are the manifesto I've given or the promises I made. These are the things I am able to complete. These are the things I'm not able to complete. And based on that, you have to decide whether you should vote for me next time or not. You as a people are selecting legislatures will select the executives. That is why executives are accountable to the legislatures, and legislatures are accountable to the people. Look at this, and if no doubts, we'll go ahead. By the time every person make 1% to accountable by itself, then the entire society will go forward. So we'll also still have a better solution actually, Balraju. In the next slide we will discuss. um Okay, Manji, your general issues will definitely look into that actually towards the end actually. Now, for now, anyway, you are attending the class actually. That is allowed actually. Please focus on the class now. In Kannada, there is one famous poem. ಇರುವುದೆಲ್ಲವ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವುದರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. In generally, normally we do not give much importance to the things that we have, and we always focus on the things that we don't have. So don't worry. Now, at least now what you are doing, classes you are attending, please focus on that. In the last 10 minutes, we will see what can be done, what is exact your problem and all those things actually. So don't worry. Please focus now. So did you understand this? Yes. Thank you. Please keep responding. As you know, in online actually, we know that they can say yes, smiles or something we can see, but in online it's difficult to see that whether you are in track with us or not. Thank you for keep participating and observe this slide and try to make some sense out of it. Okay. So now accountability is of three types. One is known as self accountability, internal accountability, and external accountability. Now, suppose as a teacher, I have taken the responsibility. See, for every responsibility, there should be accountability. Now, I have taken the responsibility of completing the syllabus. Now, I need to answer answerable to myself. First, I need to answer to myself: have I doing justice to the duty that I have taken? So that is answering myself, am I fulfilling the responsibilities or not, is known as, that is answering to our conscience, is known as self accountability. Then I'm working in an organization, about the decisions we have taken, the way we implemented. Generally, we are answerable to the seniors. Legally it is binding, but other co-workers are there actually. It is not compulsory, but still you can share with them any, like you have allocated a contract to somebody or any decisions that you have taken. There are many people, they may ask further question. Legally compulsory you should answer to your seniors. That is within the organization, that is called internal accountability. But ethically going beyond, once you have done right actually, let anybody ask the question, you can answer to them actually. You can share that actually with them, other people actually, your colleagues, co-workers, everything also. But for seniors it is compulsory. Now I was answered to myself, then within the organization, then as a civil servant, when you take a decision and the people will ask you, maybe judiciary will ask about it. Now, for example, there is a loss of life and property in some incident that has happened, communal violence. Judiciary may ask, what are the preventive measures that you have taken? Did you had any intelligence gathering about the this hatred crime that can happen actually? Any preventive measures you have taken? Judiciary may ask. The concerned authority should answer. So politicians may ask, media, NGOs, common public. Anybody may ask and you should be able to answer. And that is known as outside external accountability outside the organization. Yes, Sakshi, you are right. Self means accountable to ourselves. So, for every responsibility that you will have accountability. First, responsibility comes, and that leads to the accountability. Yes, I have gone through your comment, Vikramji. We'll answer general queries towards the end of our classes. Around 8:20, we'll discuss the general issues because we will deviate from accountability. That we'll call it as actually that context that you are discussing is about ethical responsibility, not specifically about accountability. Okay, thank you. Please go through this slide. With every new slide, we'll get more clarity. Don't worry, Sakshi. I just want you to go through this. Anyhow, before I go to the next slide, I will explain, Sakshi. I just want you to read one so that you will not be just looking for all of this. So, and you will get more clarity. Okay, now listen to me. So, we understood what is accountability. No, I am giving one example for that. Now, what is the example? Now, imagine, I will explain. Okay, now listen to me. So now accountability, right? So now we are giving one example. Now imagine you are the higher authority. Okay, now you are the higher authority, whoever is listening. I am your subordinate. You have given me a task. Suppose there is one village called as Rampura. There is one village called as Rampura. There, government is coming with actually some scheme. For example, for this actually we will give, consider some free electricity scheme, or will consider some housing scheme. There are some people who do not have proper houses. Many of them are living in a hut. So government is planning to some construct some houses. So what is my task is actually that you have given it to me, that I need to go and identify the people who are beneficiaries of a scheme. Who are the exact people who are actually beneficiaries? There are total 200 families are there in this village. Among the 200 families, how many people are eligible? Suppose I've done the duty. It is not that, like, suppose we'll assume, madam, you can be sir also here. I suppose as a subordinate, I'll tell, madam, I am done my work. That's not actually accountability. The real accountability means I should be able to answer to you or convince to you, have I done the duty according to the criteria or not? For example, like I should be able to tell, madam, I have selected 50 people, and there are total 50 families who are eligible for this scheme. And all the 50 families actually, when we are selecting, each and every of them has followed criteria. There is a legal criteria. For example, they should belongs to the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. Their income, actually annual income, should not be more than 5 lakh rupees. Suppose I'm just taking hypothetical number. They should not own any four wheelers actually. Like that, some criteria you have given, madam. I have followed all the criteria in selecting the 50 families, and I have followed all the procedures that you have told. For example, what I did, I went to that village with the help of some local announcement procedure will be there actually, even today in many villages actually. So I've given some money to that person, and that person made an announcement about a Gram Sabha meeting actually. And we have conducted Gram Sabha meeting where we told all the people that there is some scheme like this from the government, and these are the eligibility criteria. Whoever is required for that, please write an application. And I've collected application. There are some were rejected, and I've given the reason for rejection. Some extra time is given for correction. After all following the procedure, and when there is no complaints, we have selected this actually, with by following the procedure. You have given me 30 days time, and I was able to do within the 30 days. You have given me overall actually 50,000, that is in expenses to do this. I was able to do. So I was able to do within the 50,000 and the 30 days by following all the procedure, and as per the criteria, I have done my duty, madam. So if I can able to tell, that is one example for accountability. Task different, then the criteria answer that going to what are the answer I'm going to give will also be different. But many times this accountability as a process becomes a failure. It will not happen. As a subordinate, I don't answer all of these questions properly to my higher authorities. Why? The problem is not with the subordinate itself. The problem also with higher authorities. You are all going to become the higher authorities in the future. So if you expect an accountability from the subordinate, you should follow some requirement. And what you have to follow so that you can extract accountability from me are those this. Just look at this slide. Kum kum. So are you giving a statement or are you asking a question? Vivek now understood that criteria point. Sakshi, now you understood that heading. Okay, understood. Kum kum. Okay. Now what I'm telling, if you as a higher authority is expecting accountability from me, first you as a higher authority should have a clarity about what task I'm giving to the subordinate and what is the time frame budget. Suppose you as a higher authority, you just tell actually, just go and select the beneficiaries. And you're not given me budget and time, then it will not work. Then suppose you call me after 20 days, Mr. Srinivas, I have given this task, is it over? Then, madam, you did not tell any time. I thought I will do, from start from tomorrow. I was thinking, shall I start, madam, from today? I may ask. Then I will collect all the money that is spent and I will come, madam, total 1 lakh is the expenditure. Hurry, you should have done in 50,000 now. Madam, you did not tell anything. So first, as a higher authority, you should have a clarity. What is the exact task I'm giving to the subordinate? And what is the time and what is the budget? You have created, suppose as a higher authority, and you kept in your file. What is the use? You are giving to Srinivas and call that person and make sure that the person who is doing the work, the concerned person, has the proper awareness. Say, Mr. Srinivas, and this is the exact task that you are supposed to do. This is the time period and everything. They have to tell. And you should provide the necessary capacity. For example, that person, in order to do this, requires some resources like 50,000 rupees money, one computer or the laptop, and access to some important government websites actually with login credentials and everything, and then some two assistants. So resources are required. We need to make sure that we are providing necessary resources and the capacity. For example, maybe there are two subordinates are there. This as a Srinivas is the authority to give some instructions to them. So you as a higher authority, make sure that I have got all the resources and you are transferring me the capacities so that I can do the task properly. And there should be a clear procedure for reporting, like progress. If some task to be done in 30 days, you should not expect that actually you should not ask only after the end of 30 days. There should be a procedure where every once in a day, once in a 2 days, once in a 5 days, I can update, and after the completion also. And suppose we thought we'll complete in 30 days, but we thought that because of some heavy rain or something, we couldn't able to do. We need 5 days extra. Some course correction is required. But some of the people who feel that though they are eligible, I am not deciding them in the final report. There should be a process where they can complain to some other authority, cross check, and if there is any issues, that authority will ask me and get the issue resolved, known as GRM, grievances redressal mechanism. Grievances redressal mechanism. All this you as a higher authority should make sure, and then only you can expect accountability from your subordinates. Then only you can expect accountability from your subordinates. When it is not done, then accountability will not also come. Then you cannot expect accountability also. Deepika, Deepshika, Navya, Anil, Akshat. Tell me why there is a delay of 1 hour. Gayatri, Nagaraju. So for others, hope this is clear to you. Same thing we have explained in a different way. GRM explain actually. So one student want to know GRM means grievance redressal mechanism, complaint handling system. In simple, suppose I'm taking classes and you feel that it's suppose some issues are there. There should be a process where you can give complaint to some people. They will recheck with the other people and cross check. And if there is any certain issues or something, that will be addressed actually. So complaint handling system. Complaint handling system. So one student came late from the office, another person has a viral fever, very bad. Okay, please go through this. It is just same point we have explained in a different way. I will tell you. Just go through this. Be active, be present here. Okay, now listen to me. So one student has a question, sir, how to do course correction? See, what is this course correction depends on the context. For example, now here, the institution has given me that in within the 15 sessions, I need to complete. Now later when we start implementing, because students are asking so many questions and all, we may thought that we need 1 day extra class. Or for example, we strictly thought that class will be from 5 to 8:30 or something. So then, sir, because there are some higher questions are coming, in order to complete the syllabus, we need 15 minutes extra. So we'll talk to the concerned people and get that permission. And that course got corrected. Whatever we planned in theory, when we come to the execution, it may not work the same way, because people are not same, situations are not same, factors are not same. So when they do not work, making appropriate changes is called as course correction. Got it, Kumkum? Now, the previous slide actually that we have discussed was specific to that, selection of a beneficiary. In generally, if you are an higher authority and you expect accountability from the people, what are the steps you have to take? Now, imagine just for the example, there is some many people are going to gather actually. If there is one particular religious way event will happen in few days, and hundreds people is going to gather, and there are 20 police officials are 24 officials actually are responsible to make sure that there is no law and order violation, and peace is being maintained. People come to that area and worship their god actually, and everything they will go back, like once in a 12 years Mahamastakabhisheka will happen actually. So, or in so many other places, people gathering will be there in India. Many religious institution, religious ceremonies will happen. So, but like if you just give 20 officials, you have to maintain law and order. Suppose some issue happened. Then if you ask him, why do you think this happened? Sir, I have done everything properly, but it is a problem with B. And B say, actually, no, no, sir, I am correct. Actually, problem with the C. If you have you are giving a task to the 20 people, suppose you have to define clearly what is the role of every employee, which area should be covered by A, which area should be B, which should the area be should be C, and who will check the everything that actually the whether queue should be moved forward or kept here, or making sure that nobody has any harmful instrument with them. So somebody come with a gun and started shooting other people. If anything goes wrong, there is one person who is an in charge to make sure that people, whoever is entering into this place, do not have any weapons with them. Then we can specifically ask B. Then if all these people gathering, suddenly somebody comes, started firing. Then if I ask, so I'm just doing my duty, madam. So that will happen. So if you are giving a task to some 3, 4 people, though you give a general idea, also make sure that clearly tell what A should do, what B should do, what C should do. And even when you are giving the task, actually, as try to specify as much as possible. Like maybe you have to go at 9 o'clock actually in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning, depending upon the situation that demands. So clearly specify what is the exact task and the time and the budget, every details that is required. First you should have a clarity and you should tell them. And because it happens throughout, some courses can happen one day and some months actually and all will be happening. This should also, you should not just give them complete freedom. They should be, they should know that somebody is observing them, somebody is looking them, somebody is monitoring them. When I know that somebody is monitoring me, we'll be careful when we are doing our duty. So there should be, and based on their performances and based on the department that you are working in, you may conduct monthly meeting, or once in a 2 months, once in a 6 months, or once in a year meeting with them and discuss what task we have given and what are you doing, is the things are going well or not, what are the challenges that you are facing. And based on their performances, you need to decide whether we need to give promotion to them, demotion to them, or suspend them. And also now we are implementing so many schemes, we need to cross check. Like I am observing as a higher authority, other people are there to monitor actually, but why can't we cross check from the people who are receiving the benefits actually? So for that we can conduct social audit. We can ask the people their opinion, the beneficiaries, is everything happening well or not. We can interact with the people, like when we can have a called a meeting with our stakeholders. Suppose we are running a hospital, government hospital, once we can have a meeting with the patients. As actually we tell them, so every month on the day like 10th of every month actually, there will be a meeting with the higher authorities. There is one district hospital is there, every day hundreds of people are coming, so one day we'll interact with them. We encourage every month 10th, if you have any issues, suggestion, feedback, please come and talk to us. And debates will happen. They tell, sir, actually, doctors are coming at 11 o'clock, actually, but all the patients may come at 9 o'clock. Then we'll have a debate whether they should come at 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock. What is that? And that will lead to solution. They can give constructive criticism, like what is going right, what is going wrong, and what are the changes that can be brought from the people perspective. That's how the democracy should work. And this is, if you as a higher authority can follow all these steps, you are not only maintaining the individual accountability, every individual is answerable, and the whole of the organization also should be answerable if anything goes wrong. By following all these steps, we can make sure that people have accountability, that they do their duty properly. Got it? Fine. Observe this slide, please. Yeah, I will explain everything. Did you go through this? Now listen to me. So here IAS refers to information sharing. T is a transparency. A is accountability. If all these things are followed in a system, now imagine we are not keeping secret, we are sharing the information, and we are also taking the responsibility for everything that we have done, then it lead to ethical governance. How? So now once again, suppose as an officer, I'm taking the decision, like we want to buy a furnitures for a government school. I have the power to decide actually what is the price at which you have to buy and from which supplier I have to buy. I have the power. I have to the power to decide this. Normally, we would have got this furniture for 1,000 rupees, but I am paying 3,000 rupees and getting the 2,000 rupees extra. There is one good supplier is there actually. He is ready to provide for 1,000 rupees, but I'm not giving tender to that project because that person will not give me any extra money. But if I give the contract to this person, like Suresh here, and this person give me 1,000 commission for every furniture that person supply. So what I'm doing, I'm abusing my power. I'm using the power in such a way that it's harmful to the people. That too I would have done if there is no transparency. But if I do something, tomorrow you'll ask the question, or we will actually have to tell how much money we spent actually. Then I cannot do that. So it prevents abuse of power. Now, anyhow, I'm doing, I have to spend it for 1,000 rupees only. I need to convince you why we spent 1,000 rupees everything. So then if anybody who is included in the scheme who are not supposed to be included, people will ask the question. So anyhow, I have to do work. Let me do it properly only. So it lead to the efficiency and effectiveness. Earlier, somebody says, sir, 3,000 rupees from furniture. Ah, signature is done. Sir, some toilet is not working well. Washroom, we need to do renovation. Okay, 10 lakhs bill. Okay, 10 lakhs bill renovation of toilet. Okay, done. But now, before I put signature, I have to be careful. Once again, people will know about it. They will ask the question. They'll, sir, it is our own money. Why are you doing this? So I need to answer. If anybody who are not supposed to be included, if I included actually by creating fake documents, still people question, the media will question. Are endukra babu talanoppi. So why all this headache actually? So we'll make sure that benefits is reached to the people whom it's supposed to be reached. And people can see that okay, things are working well, and they started developing an intense belief in the government. So they develop a faith in the government and they start participating. They actively participate in the Gram Sabha meeting. They are okay to come when we call as a part of social audit. They know that these are all happening because of ethical governance. They will be very careful when they are voting. There are some people who are ready to give awareness to the common people. They will express their opinion in the MyGov website. They share their suggestions to Man Ki Baat. All this is actually where citizen participating in the governance. That will become a reality. And that is to that in order to happen to this, we need to make sure that we have transparency, accountability, and the information sharing. Our transparency, please repeat, is is not ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. It is sharing the information. What is sharing the information? That we have discussed when we the class started. So in simple, government is sharing the information to the people. Sir, A is encircled. So one student want to know, why have you circled A? I also circled T, circled IS also. Do you really, is that is the question? Sir, A in circle. So you want to know what is A in that circle? Are you sure, Vivek ji? Or what exactly is your... Okay, so here our Vivek wants to know what is A. After listening, attending the class from 5 o'clock, and after transparency is there, information sharing is there, after that A is there, and he was not able to understand what is A. Very big problem, Vivek. I don't know how to find a solution for this. Um, okay, so there are many students who are helping you, and A for accountability, Mr. Vivekji. It is like once again we are discussing whole Ramayana. At the end, Vivekji will come and ask, Sir, I'm confused whether Rama and Sita are they husband and wife, or are they brother and sister, sir? Who are they? Whether Rama is good, Ravana is good actually. Who kidnapped whom, sir? I'm confused. Okay, no problem. So we are T and A means transparency and accountability. Okay, Vivek, now you know this. Okay, oh, he understood it seems. Wow, super. Let's we go ahead. Okay, so now please observe this slide. Sir is watching mobile. Don't think like that. I want to share one video with you, so that's what I'm searching. So Vivek has another question. Sir, what was that sound? Okay, don't worry. I'll tell the he has so much of curiosity. So now you there is one slide here actually. Okay. Now listen to this actually. First listen to this. And before I explain this actually, whoever has access to the YouTube now, I want you to watch a video. Please go to YouTube and type these keywords in your YouTube. And for example, if you type Savda Gherwa and the Quint. These are the keywords that you have to type. Sauda Gherwa is name of a place or a slum colony in Delhi, and Quint is a YouTube channel in this way in which this video is in. So once you type this, you will get a 6 minutes 33-second video. Please go to YouTube, and it's something like this. You will get it. So the head, it's a Quint. There is some 6 minutes video is there. The title of this actually, Women of Saudha Gerwa change their lives through power of RTI. Did you get this? So if you type these keywords in YouTube, you will get a 6 minutes 33-second video. Okay, please watch for some time. Thumbnail is not best. Thumbnail there are three women in the thumbnail. Okay, Chandrasekhar or Syed. Sorry, yeah, Syed. Okay, Karthik. It is Savda Gevra. Gevra. Ghevra. It will come. No, I want you to watch that video for some time, Samiksha ji. Then I'll go ahead. Watch now only, so that you will understand this properly. At least watch for first 3 minutes. Yeah, right now only watch it now. You can watch, no? You have a device. Just for watch for 3 minutes, then I will explain to you. I'm here looking at your comments. Please go through that video. It is in Hindi. I can't understand. Mr. Balraju, please see there is some subtitles also in English. Is it missing only in your YouTube video? Yes, yes, Sakshi. Let just some people have a look at it. Okay, please pause that video. That is to create a curiosity, and you can continue later after the class. Okay, now come back to this. Okay, so please come back to this, and I'll just read some of the comments that explains what is there in that video. Now, whoever is watching, please pass it. Okay, now to create a curiosity, go home and please come and after the class, completely watching. So they are solving their problems through the RTI. Yes, Sakshi, you are right. Karthik says, sir, if knowledge is there, anything is possible. They have got the knowledge of their rights and life is changing. Super, actually. That is a clear description of that video. And it is related to Delhi, Gel Board and RTI. Yes, it is. Sir, I think RTI is only giving information with respect to government scheme program, but they are helping for water. How? Yes, Chandrasekhar, you will get a solution now. What happens actually, for example, now listen to me. uh, these are the people who are rehabilitated. They were living in another area, now they have got rehabilitated as a part of slum rehabilitation program in Delhi. Now they did not have water connection. There was no water facilities, and the water tank is also not coming. Now what RTA will do, RTA will give you information. They asked the concerned Delhi Jail Board actually, what is the criteria for water tank to come to our area? Is there is any how many water tanks should come here? What is the timings they should come actually? So then Delhi Jail Board will tell for every area two tankers will come every day based on this population. Now they will take this document and go and ask the people actually, sir, according to this every day two should come. Why they are not coming? In fact, when I apply as a suppose a RT applicant, they will come to know somebody is some the people from the slum area asking their rights about drinking water. Then they will start sending because they will know that they will go and ask actually. Sir, we what is there is any arrangement for public transportation in our area according to any scheme? Who is the responsibility to provide the public transportation and what is the criteria? And when you apply, and they will ask, okay, if the population is so much, then there should be a public transportation. They will take this data given by government only, ask the local government, and they should provide. There is no other option. And in the towards the end that video will tell the moment we file RTA, whatever the works were not happening, that is happening now. Or the people are so afraid of this RTI. You see that video, it is so interesting, and that is just one impact that of the RTI. Like this, there are hundreds of other impact that is happened. Okay, Chandrasekhar, hope you got it. They fought against the common public needs like water, sanitation. Yes, the women of Saudha Gevra, the largest slum in the Delhi, harnessed the power of RTA to hold the government accountable in providing basic amenities to them. They kept filing the RTIs till they have the regular supply of drinking water via tankers. But a few men threatened and assaulted some of them. Still, they didn't back down. So, Vaishnav, for curiosity, so you are watching that video and also typing how you are able to do within a short period of time. Sayed says scarcity of water and basic necessities, mostly drinking water issues, sanitation. Okay, the good. They choose to took the help of RDA. So working for all the people. Yes. Okay, super. Now please complete it actually. Yes, Chandrasekhar. So Vaishna has a habit of taking the running notes from lecture, so she was able to watch it and type exactly almost in the same order how the video was running. That's super Vaishna. Now back to this. Now we know that transparency, please focus here, means sharing the information. Some people are still keep watching the video because interesting. No, no, please, that is with you only. With that video will not be removed actually. It is there from many years. It will be there. Please keep that video aside. Focus on me. I will be available till 8:30 only. Your video will be with you. Okay, please look at me. Okay. I'll get ready and come, but you to look so that you look at me, but still you don't look at me. Okay. Now, okay, now. So what is this RTI? Now, information sharing. We discussed information sharing. So in order to achieve this transparency, what we are doing is we are sharing the information. The information sharing is of two types. One is proactive information sharing. That means before you ask us, we'll share the information. Proactive. Before you ask us, like for example, budget, the government websites, PIB, press information before, bureau, you no need to ask us, we only share the information. But in spite of that, if some informations are not available, then what you can do, you can ask us, then we will give you. And that is called as reactive information sharing. And in this process only, our beautiful scheme called as RTI 2005, Right to Information 2005, will come to the picture. Now, what are the provisions or the salient features? First, who can apply this actually? All the citizen possesses the right to information. How can you ask actually? Through as directly writing a letter to the concerned department or an organization like Delhi Jail Board. They want to know what are the facilities are available to us. Or like you can also go through the online. There is an rtaonline.gov.in. If you type, you will have to select the ministry and the department and ask the question, and within 30 days they will make sure that actually you will get that reply from the concerned department. They may take some time, because you give actually, they need to verify it actually, and that is the maximum time. They send it as early as possible. Many information that you ask, they may try to provide within 48 hours only. Somebody is arrested actually, but the police is not telling the reason. We can ask through RTA why this person was arrested. Some disasters have happened, earthquake, flood and all, and the media wants to know actually, and to tell the people what are all the measures they have taken, and you can ask through the RTA. So some of this information which is affecting the life and liberty of the people actually, then we may consider request them to give within the 48 hours. But if not possible, in generally, whatever the possible they give, if not, at least they will make sure that within the 30 days that information you will actually have to be given. And once you ask the information, they have an obligation to provide. Whether they like it or not, they have to provide. The public authorities, public authority, you may have this confusion, who are these public authorities and all, whether somebody is included or not. So who are public authorities, definition keep on including, with value addition keep changing. In simple, one small way of understanding, if any organization is using your tax money, then they are answerable under RTA. If some money they are running with, or like for example some private company where you are not giving, their tax money is not utilized, you no need to pay. Some NGOs, they are getting general funds from other people, they are not come under RTA. But if this NGO is receiving the funds from government, then they are answerable through the RTA. So any public authorities where their expenditure is happening through the consolidated fund of India, in simple, tax money is being utilized, then they are answerable to the different questions under RTI 2005. Certain informations are prohibited. Again, RTI you will study in the GS paper too, but in simple, the any information that you are asking that is against the national safety or security, national safety or the security, that it might be negatively affected, then they may not give that information. Some general cabinet discussion that happen, you no need to specifically remember exemption, but you should know that there are some exemptions are there. Suppose some cabinet discussions are happening about some decision actually. So for example, river water distribution between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and that everybody should have right to express their opinion. Usually it will be recorded. But if you know that all the debates, that discussions that we are having, people come to know, some people may not be ready to express their actual opinion about some controversial issues. So then, so that some general cabinet discussion that happens, if cabinet decides that this should not be disclosed to the people, then it can be kept confidential. Some future, maybe some surgical strikes that if India is planning or something, it can be kept secret. Some developments that is happening in the space and the defense areas, if government thinks that actually we should not share it, we should not share it. Some information that we receive from the foreign countries under the agreement that we do not share it with the public, it will not be shared. Like this, some exemptions are there. Other than that, government has an obligation, public authorities have an obligation to share you the information. Certain informations are restricted to third party. For example, we are having some medicine, like for some trade secrets are there with this medicine, some secret ingredients are there. What ingredients are there, I know as a company owner, government also know, concerned authorities know, but we don't want to share it with the third party. So some information government know, I know, but we don't want to disclose to the other people. Third party restrictions are there. Somebody has asked actually, what is the income tax return of Sonia Gandhi ji in last 5 years? Now, what is how much income tax returns were filed actually by Sonia Gandhi? Sonia Gandhi knows, and government know, but third party has not much relevance. So, personal in financial transaction, like how much I am filing an RTI or something, I know government know, but third people they no need to know. How much salary government will give, they actually know. But tax return or how for when whatever the salary that I am getting, whom I am giving, how I am spending that money, I know. Again, government know. The third person they may not want to know, or it is not necessary to know. In that way, some informations are restricted to the third parties. Other than this restriction or prohibition, public authorities have an obligation to give you any means, any information that you ask for. They want to know, sir, where is that video is uploaded? Okay, so please note down this after the class. If you type Sauda Ghevra and the Quint in the YouTube, that video is available, and you may get some other videos. The name of the YouTube channel is Quint, and the video timings is 6 minutes 33 seconds approximately. Watch that video after the end of our classes. Okay, Dev. So are we clear with this slide? Shall I go ahead with this slide, this module? Okay, thank you. Now, why this RTA is there? All the right to information. We are giving power to the citizens to ask any questions to us. That is called empowerment of the citizen. When you ask us, what do? We share the information. The secrecies will come down. So we are promoting the transparency. Now, once again, same Delhi, the video example that you take, those people who know that actually every day 2 water tanks should come to that area, do they keep quiet? They go to the concerned department and they will ask, sir, according to this, we should get 2 tankers actually. Why are we not getting? Why there is no electricity connection? Why there is no public transportation? Then the concerned authority should take responsibility, should answer to your question. That also they have no other option when you go with the data, because the data is given by government itself. You cannot say no, no. Earlier, if when without RTA, when they ask actually, sir, we should get water tank, and hey, no, no, why you are living in a slum, you don't get anything actually. These are how earlier you were living in slum. This is only sufficient. But now it is not like that. You can find out and ask the question. So they should answer to you. They have no other option. And because again people know everything that is happening, every rupee that we spend actually, if any government money that's spent actually, you can for example, if I'm an IAS officer and I'm living in a building that is given by government, they can ask electricity bill of actually how much electricity bill this IAS officer gets, how much water bill this IAS officer get, how much money that I am spending for petrol diesel for my car if that is a government car, what is the salary of that government driver. And if we are spending too much of electricity, they will ask actually why IAS officer is spending so much of money for electricity. If Prime Minister has a foreign visit, like to France, you can ask from the time that he left India, from the time again, from the time he come back, what are the expenditure that is happened and how much money that is spent for what. So you cannot do the corruption. Earlier, washroom is not working, renovation, dal do 10 lakh rupees, dal 10 lakh dal do. Now you cannot dal do. You cannot put that so much of money because people will ask the question. So because with this RTI, people come to know the more and more awareness about the different government activities. And so people ask the question, they get their rights actually fulfilled. And that's how democracy is actually working for the people. That is where actually it is by the people, for the people, of the people. That is where it is by the people, for the people, of the people. Dinesh has earlier asked the full form of IS, so hope you got it by now. IS, earlier we used the term for information sharing under doubt section, you have asked. Can they give fake information? 99.9% they don't give, because it is the government. If any information government is given under RTI, and if it is find out to be a fake, it's like a lose, it lead to the trust deficit. And that's why suppose demonetization they have done, and it is find out that more than 99% of money has come back. One of the agenda was actually to get black money. It did not happen, but they will tell the data. So this is what success failure, they will share it actually. But fake information, sometimes without knowing it might happen actually, but knowingly they do not do it. So 99.9% the true data will be given by them. Any instances of regional level in Karnataka? It may be there, Amit. Of course, every state has some example. Whenever you are free, just type RTI actually Karnataka. RTI success stories Karnataka. You will get state specific. We have just given one example. If you just type RTI success stories, you will get hundreds. Is RTA answers for the IAS officer personal expenditure? Any money that government is giving you, like government is giving salary to the IAS officer, how much salary they will give. But what this IAS officer is doing with that salary will not be asked. Government has given money for petrol diesel, they will ask actually how much money is spent actually, you can. But that my own salary what I'm doing, that is not asked actually. But how much government is spending on me for my transportation, for my staying, and all other things, you can find out how much money that you can find out actually. But what I do, my personal expenditure may not be, unless I'm doing, selling, buying the drugs or something actually, or transporting to the foreign countries and all, there may be some question in crores of rupee transaction that I'm doing. Other the legal transaction will not be asked question. Fine. Observe this slide. Observe this slide. Go through the content. Okay. So Vaishnav says, sir, new data protection bill may dilute this, and they may refuse any information saying as the third party restriction. See, normally this may be one of the criticism, but remember, let any bill come. Once the art like an act like RTI is coming easy, but stopping from giving the information is very very difficult. In many times when the argument has come actually, even judiciary agrees that transparency and RTI should be given a higher preference. Unless there is a real reason to restrict it actually, there is no way government can restrict this actually in general. For example, recently the Agnipath scheme, that where the soldiers are recruited, some person has asked through the RTI actually, what is the how many people are recruited this, and classify them according to the region, religion actually, and their caste. Now, which religion the soldiers belongs to, government may know, but it is not necessary for common people to know the religion of the soldiers. They told that it is a private information of the soldiers which has no public relevance. and they have not shared it. So there will be a proper logic if it is some information is not shared. Okay, it is, there is no doubt it's one of the greatest act, actually they're one of the noble act in India, but it has some challenges. One is, like, no, now Delhi Jail Board were able to know, thanks to the one of the NGO called Marg, MARG, they were able to guide them and everything. But many common people, they're tribal people who are backward in the backward areas, they are still facing the problem, but they may not know the power of RTI. And even getting through the RTA information was not so easy. If you watch that video again, a Delhi jail board related video, many people have threatened them. They've actually, even slapped some people. Then the woman went ahead, actually, if you slap one woman, okay, slap all of us, only she is filing RTA. Now every woman will file an RTA. Do you kill everybody? Do you slap everybody? They cannot. So up to certain limit only the harassment or the exploitation can continue. But yes, it requires a courage, it requires knowledge, everything, actually. So, but many common people even today then do not know the power of RTA. Once again, thanks to this, actually, we teach A plus B whole square to the people. We This may not be taught in the school. Even if it is taught, somehow our education system, we feel that what do we study, what do we write in the exam, and our real life has no connection at all. They're entirely different things. So yeah, changes should come, but for now there is a lack of awareness. These videos can help us. Second problem, nowadays we are digitalizing so much of data, but earlier this digitalization, some 10 years before data and all, you see in some movies, suppose some police data, they just stored in some rooms, or in the same way in different department. Sometimes they maybe some cockroaches are eating those files, rats may be eating those files, actually. Sometimes water may be leakage happening, actually, and they get destroyed. So poorly maintained official records, when the records are not there, you can't give the data, so that restrict them. And there is some coming from the previous time, because of some corruption that is all happening, government has, some officials have this culture or the mindset, way of life, restricting the information as much as possible, as much as possible. No matter which act we are bringing, unless the mindset of the people is not changing, the things don't work properly. So culture of secrecy which is prevalent in the government offices is also the reason. And poor quality of the information that is provided, many times they will file, actually, application, they may get a very little information, they will file again, they will file again, they will file again. So it irritates the applicant, so that is not giving the appropriate information. Sometimes it is used to blackmail the government official. How? For example, there is some project that is happening. So there is one government official, he has constructed a veterinary hospital where they give treatment to the cows, buffaloes, and other animals. And the total expenditure for this construction was suppose 10 lakh rupees. This officer has written a details, and 10 lakh rupees was spent on construction of this, actually, and submitted and got 10 lakh rupees also. But there are many educated people are there, RTI, actually, they know the power of RTI. They will get the data, what is the expenditure done on this veterinary project, and for what are the different areas they spend. Suppose as a youth, I came to know that this couldn't take more than 5 lakh rupees maximum, but another 5 lakh rupees that officer got extra, they go and blackmail the officer. Sir, I know that you have spent 5 lakh rupees, but you have claimed the money of 10 lakh rupees. I will go to the media and I will expose this. Your image will damage and you may be fined and you may be suspended. All this will happen. But you have one more option. Just give me 1 lakh rupees. I'll keep quiet. Otherwise, TV9 or just some other media is ready. So literally blackmail. Suppose this officer give 1 lakh rupees. Then this officer, what do I do? I may go and talk to Karthik. Karthik, you do actually go again. Now Karthik will come. Sir, there is a scam happened. So give me 50,000 rupees. I will keep quiet. Otherwise, actually, I'll go to media. Then Karthik will give to Vedashree. So Vedashree will come. Sir, give me just 25,000. Some scam happened. So it will continue. They all know. Okay, now this person has taken, suppose, 5 lakh rupees corruption. He also manage other people. Maximum we can ask up to 2 lakh. We should not ask too much, otherwise he may not give. So to that extent, they will blackmail. Some people ask RTA just with the intention of getting publicity. Okay, this is one challenge, actually. They just want to fame. I want to expose this or actually know this, actually. So sometimes there may be a frivolous question. When we say frivolous, which are not so serious questions are asked. Like maybe here, in some questions, Like maybe now you're asking, sir, what is the full form of RTI after discussing all this? Or for example, in this, whenever you are free, you can also type a frivolous questions asked in RTI. For example, there were some people asked actually. It may be important for them whether Indian PM, has read Indian Constitution or not, and what is the menu of the food items that you serve for the president or this prime minister in the last 1 week. How much money is spent on the fruits and vegetables for this minister? How many times this person visited temple in the last 1 month? And unless there is an exemption, they have to give. Some people go to the extent also. Suppose my name is actually, like, suppose Venkatesh, and I want to marry, this is my biodata. Give me the details of suitable actually bridegroom or bride actually. Okay, if I'm a bridegroom, so but give me the details of suitable bride to me. People have asked these questions in RTI. So, or is there is any price that is fixed for a beautiful woman according to any tradition? Is any university done a research on this? So they've asked the question. So sometimes these frivolous, not so serious questions are asked. And if usually PIOs, public information officer, information commissioners, who are in charge of dealing with this RTI, many times the vacancies are there, and vacancies are there, they may not be able to fulfill their duties. So these are the challenges that we are having. And every challenge, if you find there is a solution. Lack of awareness, so we need to give awareness. Poorly maintained official record, at least from now we need to maintain. We need to give training to the government employees about the importance of this transparency. Poor quality, again, when the training is given, they will start doing. And with respect to blackmail, they can blackmail the government official only when I've done wrong. If everything is right, then there is no blackmail. Some people want to do it for publicity. Okay, let them do it. Frivolous question, if you know information, let's we give them. It's okay. And we'll fill the vacancies. That is the solution. What is PIOs? PIO means Public Information Officer. Normally, every government authorities will have PIOs, but they are in charge of this, maintaining this RTA. Sometimes, if the organization is more, there will be additional PIOs or assistant PIOs will be there. They will take that application and they make sure that information will be given to you in the right time. If you are not happy with the information PIO is given, you can write an appeal to appellate authority. And if you are not satisfied with, then if it is a state government, you can go to State Information Commission. And if it is a central, you can go to Central Information Commission. I will ask 10 lakhs actually, 25,000 nahi chahiye. Vedashri full top level. This 25,000, if Karthik go and tell Vedashri go and ask, I don't actually, I don't want 25,000. I spend to have coffee only 25,000. So I don't take so much of risk. So if 25 lakh, tell me, then I will go and talk. Mm. RTA is the new type of Jeevan Sati. Okay. Are these are the types of questions are answered as well? Yes, whenever you are free, because people can ask anything. As of now, there is no fine is imposed on the people for asking so-called wrong questions or something. So they ask. Not necessarily gazetted officer PIO, one of the government employee who is in charge of this. Sir, how misuse of RTA is wrong with respect to public is safe now? I did not say it is the misuse of RTA is wrong, but it is a challenge. The very great human resources that we are having, we are spending on some frivolous issues. Some people are blackmailing. That is a challenge. That's what the solution I told. If blackmail can be done only if there is a government official is correct. Publicity, it's okay. Frivolous, I told that this is not a wrong, but this is a challenge that we are facing at present. Sir, in my village, main road is destroyed, but nobody is doing anything. If I do anything, nobody support me. Can I write a letter to collector what to do in this matter? So, Samiksha, first you can identify who is the person responsible for the road construction and what is the legal criteria for constructing a road, how many years it should be constructed, and what is the responsibilities of the contractor who has got this or who is in charge of this. You ask some related question, so you will get data and then you can go and talk to the concerned authorities. Dinesh wants to know what is PIO and IC now. I just told you. PIO means Public Information Officer. IC means Information Commissioner. So just now explain, these PIOs usually appointed at government organization. They are the in charge of maintaining the RTI. They will collect information, make sure, collect it from the authorities, collect this application, and make sure that information will reach to you within the 30 days. And above them, appellate authorities. Above them, information commissioner will be there. Okay, hope this is clear to you. Now, please look at this slide. Observe this slide. Dinesh is only asking question, what is IAS, what is PAYC? Are you just looking or also listening, Dinesh, just for your information or just for my information? Oh, signal lost. Okay, okay. Yes. Okay, Dinesh. Sorry for misunderstanding you. See, sometimes we can't even think like this because we have 24 by 7 power here. So empathy is required. Understood, Dinesh. Does not come under. Sir, in my village there is road construction, but it has done. It has done. It does not comes to our house itself. Where should I know that information? Who got the contract and what is the amount? So you know the name of the village, you know the area actually. You can go to the PIO website actually, select whichever the ministry that you feel are the appropriate department and ask what is the criteria for construction of the motorable road in this village actually, and how many years in once actually it is done, and this is the particular village details you give, name of the village, district and all, and who has the in charge of constructing this road and whom the contract was given. Suppose as a PIO, when I receive the information, you have chosen the wrong department, then it is the responsibility of PIO to send it to the correct department. Common people may not know the exact ministry department, no. So you may mix you whatever you feel appropriate, select ministry and everything. Suppose as a PIO, when I know that a wrong department it has come, PIO's responsibility to send it to the right department. Okay, now listen to me. Okay, please focus here, and then you will get that clarity. Listen to me. So now we discuss transparency. Transparency means sharing the information. How transparency is important. Even confidentiality is also important. Confidentiality is also important. What is confidentiality? Think about transparency. Transparency means sharing information. Confidentiality means maintaining secrecy. So transparency means no secrecy. Confidentiality means maintaining secrecy. Maintaining secrecy. So how the transparency is important, we give the information, it is empower the people, certain informations to first understand this. Now don't look at the slide. That's why we give some time for you initially. Some of you are looking at slide. No, no, only don't now only look at me. So observe me. So in some cases, maintaining secrecy is also important. Now imagine, like it just for hypothetically, now we are in February, and on February 14th, like Indian government may be planning to have a surgical strike on Maldives. No, they may not do, just example, or the Pakistan or something actually. Now it is not like actually on February 13th actually our Modi will think actually, okay, tomorrow morning we'll do surgical strike and they will go and attack. Not, it will not happen, no. So there are many preparations will go on from months, days, weeks and months and all, so that many officials know. But until the day it happened, we should not disclose to that. There may be some developments that is happening in the space department, defense department, as a part of the ISRO or DRDO, that government may decide that for now we should not share this information to the people. But common people are curious. To maintain this confidentiality, we have one act in India which is called as Official Secret Act of 1923. You can see that this has actually come before our independence. Even today, this act is there. According to this Act of 1923, any information which is affecting the national security and the interest in a negative way, all that information comes under OSA. That is not only that it might, it is affecting, it might affect. There is a possibility that this information affect the national interest or the national security. All these issues comes under this. So anybody who has the information which is accessible to only some authorities, but another unauthorized person having that information, or I'm a authorized person but I'm sharing it to the other people, or there are some people who are even trying to know the unauthorized information, they will also be booked under, they can also be booked under OSA. How can they be booked? How can we know whether they're trying to know or not? So if anybody is using actually uh, unauthorized use of uniforms, some uniforms related to the army, navy, air force actually, and all this actually military, there are authorized person only should use. If you are using those uniforms in a public places and roaming, these people can be arrested under OSA. You are the person who is authorized to have this information, but you are sharing that to other people, these people can be arrested. You are come to from a maybe different country and without proper visa and passport, moving in a sensitive areas for spying, that person may be arrested under OSA. You have there are some areas which called as a prohibited areas or restricted areas to the common people, and you are trying to interfere in those areas, and all these people can be arrested under this OSA, and all these are punishable offense. When they check your vicinity or surroundings, if they find any secret information that is not accessible to the common people, that may be just an official code and some information stored in a computer and for which there is a password and they found with you, and there is some sketch plan or article of the future things, if any of these which are not supposed to be there with you and if it is there, that person can be arrested, and there is a punishment for both the person who is giving the information and receiving the information. Now, when you see that, it looks very good because an act because confidentiality is required. But there is one problem with this. What is that problem? Yeah, as you can see that this act has came in the year 1923, Official Secret Act of 1923. There is no clear definition to the few words. What exactly the national interest? When you say the information that is affecting the national interest against that, it will come under that has a broader meaning. People cannot enter into prohibited areas. What is exactly prohibited areas? Which are the areas that comes under the prohibited areas? What is the exact meaning of official secret? So some of these issues are to be addressed. There is no clear definition. And now, when these people have entered into this area, whether they should be arrested or not, it is a discretionary of the official. Official can decide whether they come under OSA or not. That is why some media claims that it has been misused sometimes. For if you just whenever you are free, because you no need to write specific example, I am not writing here, but note down all the points that we are giving as a homework. Actually, if you type misuse of OSA 1923, you get so many cases in Google actually where media says that it has been misused. Actually, for example, there's one person was arrested from the Jammu and Kashmir. He was a journalist, was arrested. And why? Because he was having some information related to the defense. They got some doubt, went to his room, checked. Actually, they got some documents related to a defense system. He was arrested under OSA, went to jail. After many months of this trial, it is find out that whatever the information that is having in his room are all available to the public in the government websites only. There was nothing secret, and he was released. There was a journalist who has written an article about this incident. What is that incident? India, there was a Mumbai terrorist attack happened. After that, we spent so much of money, lakhs and crores of money, in buying the weapons from the different countries to improve our defense system. Some of these weapons are stored in Mumbai, Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus. This person got some tip of the information from somebody and he went inside that area and he has identified that many weapons are there in one building. but it is stored in an area where the roof is leaking. Whenever the water comes there, actually water get inside this, and it was not closed properly, and many of these weapons got rusted. Rust, that means they are not able to use it, they are in such a bad condition. Collected photo, written an article. It is a waste of public fund. But he was arrested under OSA, went to the court. But as there is no clear definition of prohibited area, and this area will not come under prohibited area, court has released this person. So in this way, according to media, there are many people are misusing it. So now our 1923, now already more than 100 years are over. 2023, 100 years are over last year only. So that is why Second Administrative Reforms Commission in the year 2006 have given a recommendation. They have given a recommendation that repeal this OSA 1923. That means put an official end. Come up with a new National Security Act. Actually, maybe now if we come like 2024, that will clearly define what is national interest, what is prohibited areas, what is official secret, etc. But as of now, it is only recommendation, not yet accepted. Still, OSA is prevalent even now, 1923. This is the one information that you should know about it actually in generally, to understand these complexities around the sharing the information. What is the need of or the role of having interference with armed forces in the article today? In the article today, are you talking about current affairs? Sakshi, according to Vedastri, today there is no webinar. Are we clear about this OSA 1923? Can we quote OSA 1923 as an example to uphold the trustworthiness by the officials, sir? As the act has so many lacunae. It is an example to uphold the trustworthiness by the official as this is lacunae. Both are contradictory. You are telling that you want to quote as a trustworthiness, but there are so many lacunae in that. Are they going together? Rethink about that and ask me the question after the break. Not only official secret act, but also AFSP act is also violated, and the conviction rate is also low. Correct, Aniket, but again we are avoiding that issue because it is a part of internal security. Now, because why we discuss confidentiality, because it comes in terms of transparency. When we discuss, actually they're related, that's why we discuss. So Vedashri, are you there? So Sakshi is asking, so how can we know we have webinar or not? So what is your answer, Vedashri? We get a mail. Okay, there is no webinar, so people will get a mail if there is a webinar. Actually, through the mails you can come to know, Sakshi. There is something called ITBPL, and through that you can come to know. Okay, Vikram. So what you can write with respect to OSA 1923 is this: if implemented in the right spirit, and if we have a clarity about the what is national interest, prohibited area, and official secret act, then it build the trust. Then it is good, we can maintain the confidentiality. But with this lacunae, you don't quote it as it really in the right spirit or not. What is our suggestion? It is good, intention is good, but because 100 years are over and we need much more clarity, it will avoid the discretionary power, and innocent peoples are not harmed. That is what we can write. If these changes are not made, it may create trust deficit. If these changes are not done, it may create trust deficit. That can be our answer. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take a break and I'll come back and then I'll answer your question, Vaishnav. So these are all the first part of this. We'll go to the second part, but before we go further, let's we take a 15 minutes break and then we'll come back. So it's a break time. Samiksha has an answer. That is also after the break. Okay, Samiksha, I will answer after your the break. So, hi friends, welcome to you all after a small break to the classes of ethics, integrity, and aptitude. So, did you all back from the break? So, Samiksha, so you are asking, sir, what about my question or my answer? Can you please ask your question again? So, Vaishna has one question. Vaishna, are you there? Okay, so you have asked about, sir, what's your opinion about the sealed cover jurisprudence? Is the confidentiality surrounding it justified? For example, in case of a news channel, the media one, government gives the information about it to the court in a secret file. And okay. See, first thing, the concept of sealed cover jurisprudence, when it will come. So, a government has some information that it's giving to the judiciary and they don't want to know it to the public. Maybe it is related to individual privacy or the national security. So whether it is a right or wrong, it is a part of confidentiality, so they want to maintain some secrecy. So it depends upon what information and why they are why they are hiding it. So government has an responsibility to explain the logic behind that, that's all. So yes, confidentiality is important, it has to be maintained in the interest of nation, but they should tell why they are hiding some information. As a concept it is good, but it should be analyzed on a case by case basis. So part B of the today's class, okay Sakshi, what is that, I'll tell you. Now due to some technical issue, now we'll stop now at 7:20. In seven, in another 2 minutes you will have another class that will be starting. If you go to the dashboard, you will get the part B of the class actually. If you can, you have to just log in like you have done at the 5 o'clock, that's all. Now in 2 minutes, this will end. You will have another class, same class. I am only there and I am only continuing from here only, but you have to join with the new link, that's all. In 2 minutes you have to do that. So friends, those who have all joined, actually due to some technical issue, we'll end this class in 2 minutes. After that, you will have a new link that is available in your dashboard, which is also shared here. You just need to join with that, that's all you have to do. Okay, all those who are here aspirants, hope this things is clear to you. That will be called as part B of the today's class. We have 1 more minute. If you have any question, you can ask actually, or you can also ask in the 7:20 session. In 1 minute, it will be starting. Yes. So friends, whoever is here will be starting the new class. That is a part B, ethics class actually. Same, lecture 13, part B. Please join that class in the next 2 minutes. Okay, please join. Thank you.